Remote, beautiful, mysterious, unique. Islands are worlds of their own. Places apart where life has evolved differently. But in our modern interconnected world, islands are also part of a global community that is changing, for better or worse. In this series, we're exploring the lives of islanders. We're discovering that no matter how distant they are from the mainland, how distinctive their histories, or how proud they are of their independence, islands can't separate their futures from the fate of humanity as a whole. In so many ways, these shores are the front line of global change. What happens here matters to us all. Just south of the equator, off the East African coast, is the archipelago of Zanzibar. It's a group of coral atolls and small islands, dominated by two large ones, Unguja and Pemba. Today, Zanzibar is home to 1 million Swahili people. Islam is the dominant religion. But over the centuries, these islands have known many cultures and customs. For 1,000 years, Zanzibar was a trading post. But the island's riches meant that many outsiders sought to control them. For hundreds of years, Zanzibaris have had to march to the beat of someone else's drum. Each new occupying force left its mark on the islands and their people. By the 1960s, ethnic tensions erupted in violence and death. The aftermath, extreme poverty and ill health. For some, a rise in tourism seems to promise a way back to wealth. In reality, most of the tourist dollars stay within the gates of luxury, all-inclusive enclaves. But across the archipelago, signs of change are appearing. From the wreckage of their past, people are building hope for the future. For women, it means living and working more freely without breaking the bonds of their society. For men, it means finding a balance between tradition and reform. These are islanders looking to emerge from the shadows of their past. For the first time in centuries, they're in charge of their own destiny. After all their troubled history, could this be Zanzibar's moment? Zanzibar City in western Unguja is the archipelago's capital. It's home to 200,000 people. Their modern lives play out against a backdrop colored by rich layers of history. New trade sits alongside the old crafts. Stone Town is the city's historical core. Once it was the vibrant capital of an Arab trading empire, but today only traces of its wealth remain. On the outskirts is Michinzani, the new town. Its sprawling settlements clearly mark the divide between ancient and modern. One resident who represents Zanzibar city's past and present is B. Kadude. In traditional Islamic Zanzibar, B has been an icon for many, always walking her own path, never quite living by the rules. Now more than 100 years old, B is known across the archipelago as the grandmother of Zanzibar. She's famous for her traditional tarab singing. Despite her age, B still performs regularly. The fusion of Arabic rhythms and Swahili poetry is a reminder of Zanzibar's exotic history. But today's bold performance is quite different from the way B started out. In those days, cultural sensitivities meant women could be heard, but not seen.
In the past, or a long time ago, you would do this. You would cover your face. Now we don't do this. We want all the audience to see us and look at us.
Those early concerts were much more than just entertainment. The songs were a means of social commentary. In the song Kijiti, B sings of a miscarriage of justice and the murder of a pregnant woman. B was one of a group of women who used tarab songs to raise awareness of injustice and social issues. A century after Kijiti was written, women in Zanzibar still don't have the same rights as men. They're expected to obey their husbands and fathers. In public, they're supposed to cover up and behave discreetly. But on special occasions and behind closed doors,